This is Chrissy.
This is Shirin.
And this is Two Girls Talking Shit.
Each episode will have deep discussion and conversation on topics that matter to us, ranging from wellness to politics.
Of course, with a healthy dose of pettiness, side-eye, and shade.
You ready, Chrissy?
You ready, Shirin?
This is
TGTS.
Hey, this is Chrissy.
And this is Shirin.
And today we are back with our special bonus episode. I hope you're excited as we are.
Yeah, this is a very special episode. It's not going to be too long, although we can't make any promises.
You never know with us.
You never know with us. But we were inspired to do this episode. So we're doing a special episode where each of us is telling kind of like a story or maybe mini stories, I don't know, about the other person. So I'm going to tell a story about Chrissy. She's going to tell a story about me. And neither of us knows what the story is.
So scary. I feel like I'm under so much pressure right now.
I'm really scared. I'm honestly scared. But I know whatever comes out of our mouths, it'll be great.
It'll be fine.
We were inspired to do this mini episode because Chrissy and I and our good friend Allison host a retreat every Memorial Day weekend. It's called the Glow Up because we know how hard it is as grown-ass women to kind of create new friendships that are amazing. And Chrissy and I literally met 2 years ago. That's it.
I know, but doesn't it seem like we've always supposed to have been friends? Like, I just doesn't make sense that you wouldn't be in my life right now. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
But like, it totally doesn't make sense to me. Actually, the other day I was telling someone, I was like, yeah, I've been friends with Chrissy for like 7 years. And I was like,
no, that's not true.
That's false news.
That's false news.
But I think something that me and Chrissy have really, been really good at and not like maybe intentionally, but is creating like kind of a really wonderful new community as we have grown. We've also cultivated a really incredible community beyond Chrissy. I have some other friends that I've met online at retreats, at events. And so this is all about our friendship that hopefully inspires you to seek out new friends and a new community as well.
Yeah, and I've had a very similar experience to meeting and connecting with people outside of Shirin from in-person events or like, again, like via just like platforms and social media, all kinds of things, and have made some really amazing connections and like a new friend circle that's really truly aligned with my current values. So it's been pretty good.
It's been pretty great. So, okay, Chrissy, before we jump into our heartwarming, content,
yes,
what's up with you? What's new?
There's not that much new in my world, but I did go see this weekend. I went and saw Bad Boys 3. And here's the thing. I don't even know if I saw Bad Boys 2. I'm pretty sure I didn't. And I never would have on my own been like, I'm going to go see Bad Boys 3. But a friend asked me and I was like, sure, why not? And guess what? It was really good.
Really?
I really liked it. I was like, wow, this was such a good movie. And here's the thing. Will Smith, he just gets better with time. That man is so fine. Like, I don't understand how every time he ages, but he looks better.
I can't with Will Smith.
Okay, wait a minute. What?
Totally unpopular opinion. I get it.
Why can't you with Will Smith? I need to understand.
Listen, and I say this fully acknowledging and saying that I think he is a handsome man. I also think that like the work he does is really amazing. But what really frustrates me is like I feel like everyone is an inspirational like Tony Robbins speaker now, and I'm like,
oh my God, Will Smith is so great though. I'm like, I can't. How can you even utter Tony Robbins and Will Smith in the same sentence? They don't even belong together.
Listen, it's just I feel like. Do you ever watch the Red Table Talk?
Yes, I've watched it a couple times.
Maybe I'm Jada like 10 years ago, where she was so over Will, and he's like this extrovert over here, just taking up all the space. I don't know. But I will recognize, I think he's very, very good at what he does. And I think he is a real great source of inspiration for a lot of people. But he's not my cup of tea right now in this phase of my life.
I'm going to forgive you. We're still going to be friends. I'm fine with it. And listen, I don't even follow the man on Instagram, to be honest. I'm like not into his inspiration. But he is really great to look at though. And You don't think so either? I'm looking at your face right now. I don't think you're into it.
I mean, of all the bevy of male
I
celebrities.
mean, listen, he's no Idris Elba. That's not what I'm saying. Like,
but
let's be honest.
Idris Elba was in Cats, so
Yeah, oh God,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
know.
right. We don't want to talk
I
about
don't know.
that. We're not gonna talk about that.
But wait, what did you like about? Was it like the storyline was good? What was
The
good about
storyline
it?
was good. It was like very like it just kept my attention the whole time. I'm like really into like thrillers with like lots of shooting. That's not really my thing, but it was good. It was funny. It kept me engaged. The storyline was good. So I had a good time. I mean,
All
listen,
right.
it's not gonna win like any awards or anything, but it's a funny little feel good movie to watch. So
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
TGTS
But
review.
yeah, yes, absolutely. Now tell me, what about you? What's happening in your world?
Okay, so we found a wedding dress.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We went, Chrissy, me, and a good friend of mine went to this wonderful wedding dress shop in Brooklyn, and it was amazing. Like, just we were treated so well. They were so, like, the woman there was just so wonderful, and we found the perfect dress under budget. And it was a really good experience. I was actually kind of dreading it a little bit.
And y'all, the dress is so beautiful. Like, I mean, you have like months to the reveal, but let me tell you, when you see it, you'll remember this moment. It's such a beautiful dress. And also, like, the experience was really great, but also it's because you are a very easygoing bride.
I mean, I guess. And I had some ideas of what I wanted. We were really chill though. We were very chill. Like the woman even told us, she's like, y'all are very chill. But I've heard of some people like, I can't tell you, multiple brides have told me never go to Kleinfeld's. That's the store that's in Say Yes to the Dress in New York City.
Yeah.
They've had horror stories there of like being not treated very well. And a girlfriend of mine was like, if you don't want to spend more than $3,000, they just kind of like don't treat you as equally as other brides. Yeah. And also I just think going wedding dress shopping can be, kind of hard because it is a time when like it's that focus on your body. It's like your finances and your body, like two things that like as women, we're just constantly like, I think in that historical societal struggle with. But this was actually really wonderful. I love the dress. I can't stop. I have it in my like hidden file on my phone. I can't stop looking at it. It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. And I will agree that the people at this place were really, really nice. And I loved that, I've heard stories of like, especially the bridal industry, they bring you dresses that are way over your budget and then you fall in love with them. But like, she was so great. She was really respectful of your budget, only brought you dresses that were in that price range. And it was lovely. It was a wonderful experience.
It was great. We have to tell the story of when we got there though. So we got there and there was kind of a older woman who probably was a mother-in-law or the mother of the bride. And she was just kind of at the counter. And Chrissy and I walk in and we're just like, we're waiting for our appointment.
Eating food, eating donuts.
We're literally eating donuts and bread.
Yes, because that's what we got on the way to the bridal shop.
Some people, don't eat any carbs before their wedding, but this is #carb wedding.
Yes.
This is what this is. This wedding is fueled and sponsored by all the carbs. Okay. So we're like looking at dresses, eating our donuts, and she's like really excited. So she's like, "Oh, who's getting married?" And I was like, "Oh, I am." And I was like, "Is your daughter getting married?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, yes, my daughter's getting married in September, and I'm here to look at like mother of the bride dresses." And then she looks at me and she's like, "When are you getting married?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm getting married in September." And she's like, "Oh, you're getting your dress now? You better get on it. You better get on it because this is kind of late."
Well, also, she had a look of horror on her face. She was like, "What?"
She had a look. Okay, this is 9 months before the wedding, which I guess if maybe somebody who's listening is like jaw down, dropped, like, Shirin, what are you doing? You should have looked for your dress like 5 months ago. But like,
I thought we had plenty of time.
I thought we had plenty of time.
But
too.
The moral of the story is that is not correct. Apparently.
We did not have plenty of time. And so the mother of love, like, first of all, I was like, lady, like, even if that is your opinion, like, just keep it to yourself. She did not sway us though. It was a funny little story. But also when we told her, like the woman who was helping us, the consultant, she was like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of a rush because I guess it takes about 6 to 9 months sometimes for wedding dresses to even be made."
Which is wild. Who knew that?
It just seems like a lot of time. I don't know.
A lot of time.
I don't know. But so she only brought us dresses that also would be made within the time frame we were looking at. We found the perfect dress. But what was funny then as a bookmark at the end of the experience was while we were there was another girl who was trying on dresses with her mom. So it was the two of us at the same time. And as we were leaving, I was like, oh my gosh, well, congratulations to you too. When are you getting married? And she was like, oh, we're getting married in June.
June, y'all, of this year, June of 2020.
Right.
And she didn't have
a dress. She's like,
dress.
it's kind of a little bit, we're throwing it together. She's like, we have a venue, but we don't have a reception area. We don't have flowers. We don't have a photographer. And y'all, listen, your girl, me, Chrissy, and my friend, we were like poker face. We were like, okay, well, that's
gonna be fine. It'll work out, girl.
You're fine. You're gonna be fine. It always works out. Everything's gonna be cool.
Gonna be good.
Y'all, listen.
I don't know if she's gonna be fine, but we weren't gonna tell her that. Because listen, she's trying to get married here in Brooklyn with all these things, and I don't know if she's gonna be fine. But it wasn't the time to say that, was it?
It was not the time. That's when you keep it to yourself. But like I'm telling you, I felt like the most prepared bride in the world after we talked to her.
I was like, oh, we're good. Everything's good. What are we talking about? We are actually crushing it right now.
Anyway, so this is becoming TGTS bridal edition.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? This is what we mean when we say it's going to be a short episode, but then you never know what could happen. Get us two together. We just don't stop talking.
It's going to be 90 minutes. Okay. So I feel like we should get into our stories.
Get into it. Okay, but you're going first. I didn't tell you that.
Oh, man. Okay. So my stories are kind of a bit of like, there are a couple of vignettes. First of all, I have to let everyone know that being friends with Chrissy is such a privilege. I'm so grateful that I met this woman. Like I met her around the same time that I met my husband. And
don't tell that story. That's part of my story. Cut it. Cut it right now.
But no, the point is that I really think I was doing something, like, I don't know what I was doing. And the universe just like really gave me two wonderful blessings, which was this woman and my husband all around the same time. But yeah, she's just an incredible friend, an incredible person, an incredible everything. So for me, like my stories are kind of like the first 3 times we met and like just my impressions of Chrissy. So Chrissy and we talked about this before. We met online in Instagram in the DMs. I had been following her for a while, and she had posted something about the fitness industry. It was one of, I think, your big first posts that was very kind of against the grain of what was happening in the fitness industry. And it was about like inclusivity and diversity within the wellness space. And it was just so fantastic. And I was like, I want to be, like, I literally said to myself, I want to be friends with this woman. Like I knew that before, and then I read that and I was like, I want to be friends. I'm like, this is going to be my in. I'm a woman of color. Let me use this to my advantage. So I got it up in those DMs like a 50-year-old sugar daddy. And I was like, Chrissy, oh my gosh, like I've been following you for a while, and this post is just incredible. Like literally just like, this post is incredible, and I really hope that one day we can meet in real life. And then of course you're like, oh my God, they're never going to respond back. And Chrissy did. And she was like, oh my gosh, I may be in New York in a week. I'd love to see you. And I was like, what is happening? This is way too easy. But like, again, this is like the generosity of this woman. And so I remember it seems like Chrissy's story is going to overlap a little bit with mine. So
it's okay. It's okay.
I was heading actually. So I went to go see Chrissy first. She was here actually in New York for a business event. And and then after I was going to go see Raj. We were going to have our second date. And I walk in and it's like Chrissy, again, I've said this before, like glamazon, Chrissy King. She's like 6 foot tall in this cute little romper situation. Beautiful. She's just stunning. Right. And I remember I felt so nervous walking up to you, and you just looked at me and recognized me, and you were like, oh my God, hi. And you made me, and the thing with Chrissy is like the joy, the kindness, all of that, her heart, like, it's like when she smiles and just like greets you, it's like all there at the same time. And like, I feel like all my worries just melted away. And I don't know what we talked about, whatever it was, but it was amazing. And then as I was leaving, I was like, okay, well, that was really great. Oh my God, I just talked to Chrissy King. She's like, oh my God, let's get a photo. We have to get a photo. Let's get a photo. And it was just like, you were just so incredibly nice. I think that's what struck me so much about you, is like your heart, your generosity, and your kindness. So that was like the first time we met, and we kept in touch in the DMs. And at that point, I think we had each other's phone numbers and we were texting. And I mean, that was the point where Chrissy was doing everything. Like she had her full-time job. She was running her online business, writing content, which is a full-time job in and of itself. And this girl was just so inspiring because like you'd be up until like 3 a.m. I do not recommend it for people because I don't think it's,
Don't do it.
not a good
Don't do it.
long-term plan. But when Chrissy sets her mind to something, like she does it. And I remember my very, very first in-person retreat was happening, I think that January or February that we met. And Chrissy was like, I'm coming. She was just like, I really want to come. This sounds amazing. It was a retreat for women of color in Brooklyn. It was a day. And you came and you stayed with me. And it was just like, it was just amazing. But the most special thing about that weekend was during that retreat, I led everyone through like a visualization. It's a visualization I do with all my clients and all my retreats. And Chrissy had like a really big realization during that visualization that kind of pointed her to, I don't know if moving to New York was part of it. It was, right?
Yeah, it was. Absolutely. It definitely was.
But writing. Yeah. She was like, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to write. Did you say I'm going to write a book then?
I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did.
And I just remember like being witness to this moment and feeling so special and seeing that realization on her face and just not knowing how it's going to happen, but seeing that like, when you commit to something that doesn't make sense, but you're going to do it. And now seeing you like 2 years later, really to the day almost, because that event was last, I think, January 27th, 2018.
Yeah.
Now you live in New York and you're writing, and witnessing that transformation has been one of the greatest privileges of my life, Chrissy King.
Oh my gosh. That was just so beautiful. You're gonna make me cry. And also it's just really interesting because like we have the same stories about each other, but I know. But thank you for saying all of that. And I just have to say, so one of the things I was gonna say this at the end, but I'm just gonna say it now. One of the things I love, I mean, there's so many things I love about being Shirin's friend. It's just like such a beautiful thing. Like I just feel really, really blessed to have Shirin as one of my best friends. And the thing about Shirin though, that is just so evident every time you're around her is that like she literally embodies joy. And sometimes you see people on the internet that are like talking about all this stuff and you're like, yeah, right, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I get to be around her all the time and I get to see it. And that's really like how she lives. Right. And that's not to say that you never have bad days or any of that. Like you're very real about everything's not like peaches every day, but like you do embody joy. Like you emanate joy from your body. Like being around you is just your energy is so beautiful. And so it's just always such a pleasure to be around you and to be your friend. I just feel so grateful for it. And like we said at the beginning, like I can't even imagine not having you in my life now. Like it wouldn't even make any sense to me. So it's just so beautiful. But to tell my stories, I feel like we're telling the same stories now, but I have to tell it anyways. So I was going to talk about the day we first met, which you already did. But one part of the story that is really interesting is that, I was here for a business event and I had a business coach at the time, and the two of us had went to train at Mark Fisher Fitness, a gym here in the city. And actually when I came to New York, when we met up, I had just been here like a couple weeks before that too, for something else. And anyways, when I was at Mark Fisher, the first time I was here, I met Raj, who is your husband now. And when I came back the second time, I had been at the gym earlier and took a selfie with him.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
So when we met up, you were like, oh my God, Raj? Because you saw my Insta story. And I was like, yeah. You're like, I'm going on a second date with him today. And I was like, what? Oh my God, that's so amazing. It's such a small world because this is a woman like I just met on internet and like instant, like in your DMs. That's how we started talking. And then I'm like meeting up with her and then she's going on a date with Raj. I was like, oh my God, it's such a small world. And now y'all are married.
I know.
It's wild, right?
It's super wild. I'm telling you, like that, I don't believe in coincidences at all, but like that was just such a like Freaky Friday, like what's really going on here? Like I remember I was going through Insta stories that day and like I went through Chrissy's and I was like, what the heck is this guy that I'm going on a second date with on Chrissy's stories? What is this? Crazy town.
It was crazy town. And then also, I don't know if you remember this, but I did something the first time we met and I was like so embarrassed. So one, it was weird because like I actually not weird. You talked about how like I responded to you in the DMs, and honestly, like I am really open with people in the DMs. I'm just like, oh hey, what's up, And so I was really excited to meet you. And I like it was weird because like I didn't know you really. I mean, we talked in the DMs, but we didn't really know each other like that. But then when I saw you, I felt like I was like hugging an old friend or something, right? And I was like, wow, this is weird. But what I did, I don't know if you remember, I touched your hair. Do you remember that?
I don't remember
And then
that.
I did it, and I was like, oh my God, what did I just do? I just touched this woman's hair. What is wrong with me? you know, you
Did
don't
you say
remember
any?
that?
Did you say like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I touched your
Yes.
hair?
I was like, oh my God, I just touched your hair. I'm so sorry. Like, I know better than this. I'm like, I'm a Black woman. What am I doing touching somebody's hair?
I do not remember. I probably at the
Oh,
time
thank
felt
God you don't remember
I
that.
probably
was
felt
embarrassed.
honored. I probably felt honored.
I was so embarrassed.
But also I feel like as women of color, we kind of get a bit of a pass.
I mean, we get a little bit of a pass. I agree, but I
And
don't
yet,
do like that. I'm like, listen, what am I doing? I'm just meeting this woman for the first day. I'm like, oh my God, your hair's so beautiful. I'm like, what is wrong with me?
out.
So, anyways,
Out.
I'm so happy you don't remember that because I was very embarrassed about that moment.
Don't remember it.
But yeah, I was just like, we gotta get a picture and like, anyways, and then when I came back a couple months later, your retreat was amazing. But what stuck out for me is like I remember sending you like either a text or a DM, and I can't remember, telling you I was gonna come because I really wanted to come to your event. And you're like, oh great, stay at my house.
Oh
And
my
I was
gosh.
like, what? This woman just like said stay at my house. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Like, and I was all down for it because like whatever, I'm cool with that kind of stuff. But I was like, wow, that's really generous. Like, she doesn't even know me, really, besides the internet. We met once, and she's like, yeah, come stay at my house. It's gonna be great. And it's so interesting because you talk about that visualization, and I still remember it, and it's just like it's so wild to me now when I think about that because like there's so many parts of that story or that visualization are like real right now that it's this, I don't know, it's mind-blowing. And like I tell people this all the time. People ask me, like strangers all the time are like, oh, what brought you to New York? Why did you move here? And I always say, like, I met this woman on the internet, and then like I don't know, I started visiting her. It's like, oh my God, I need to live in Brooklyn. I mean, that's kind of what happened though.
It is.
It's kind of what happened. And like, I don't know. No, I don't think actually that I ever would have come to live in New York, definitely not to come live in Brooklyn, if I hadn't have met you. And so I say this to you all the time as well. And I'll probably be saying this for the next, I don't even know. But every time, like, I'm always literally walking around and I'm just like, wow, I live in Brooklyn. I live in New York. This is so, do I not say that to you all the time?
She does, y'all. It's very embarrassing when we're walking down the street. No. It's actually a really, really wonderful reminder. It is. I love it.
And so I say that all the time. And I just think like, I don't think I'd be living here. I don't think I'd be doing these things if I hadn't have met you. And so I'm so grateful because I love my life right now. I love like I'm, since that time we met, I have a lot of things have happened in my life, right? So I've left that job. I left a relationship that I was in at that time. Like so many things have changed. But even, I never really talked about this. I don't even think I told you this. Maybe I did. But when I had that visualization, like I was by myself in my visualization living here.
I remember you saying that and you were like very confused. Not
I was
confused,
very
but it was
jarred by it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like I'd been in a long-term relationship and I was like, well, that's weird. But that person wasn't in I was here by myself. And anyways, so that's like, how freaky is that? The whole thing, right? When you think about it. But I'm just so grateful to be here. And so I'm grateful for this life that I have. And I'm just really appreciate you because I think that like I know that's like a big thing to say, but like I really do believe that like you changed the course of my life in some ways in a really positive and beautiful way. So I really appreciate that. And then one funny thing that I want to tell people that I just like love about you so much is that you love getting samples. And when I first moved here, I didn't know that she did this. And so literally, y'all, we walking on the street and we'll see a bakery. She's like, oh, let's go get a sample. And then we see ice cream. Let's go get a sample. Never we buy anything though.
Never.
We literally just walk the streets and get samples. And y'all, I've never thought to do this, but it's the best thing in the whole world. And I am so grateful for you for doing that.
Listen, sometimes all you want is just a sample.
You just want to taste.
Just want to taste. I don't want any of your goods. I just want to taste. Yeah. Wow. I feel like, first of all, everything you said, like, my gosh, really so beautiful. And I love you so much. But also people take advantage of samples because people want to give them to you because they think you're going to buy something, and you don't have to. That's
You don't have to buy anything. And
hashtag capitalism. Okay.
I didn't know, I never even really thought that I could just unapologetically go into Pace and ask for samples with no intention of buying. And now I know that I can. And not only that, you ask people for samples of things that are not even on like a display for samples. She's like, can I get a sample of that bread? And then they'll like just cut it up and then they'll give us a sample. So she's given me so much freedom, liberation.
Listen, sometimes I even feel very bold and brazen. Like I think we were at a bakery recently, remember?
Yes, we were.
Technically and see, the girl should not have said this in front of me, but I was like, oh, like they had samples. And then she said, oh, and we can make a sample of whatever you want.
She did say that.
She did not know who she was talking to.
She did not know.
I was like, can we try a sample of that and that? No, there was like two things. I don't go overboard. But it's funny because that's something that Rod used to be like, what are you doing? Like he's like, are you going to get ice cream? Do you want ice cream? And I'm like, no, I just want a sample. And now he's like the best. He'll be like, oh baby, look, there's ice cream spot. Let's go get some samples. And
you're changing the world.
I am.
One person at a time.
One sample at a time. But listen,
one sample at a time.
What I hope, like, first of all, what I hope you get from her story is that like, amazing friendship is out there. And no matter how old you are, no matter how where you live or what your community is like, Chrissy and I did not live in the same place. And I do believe that even if Chrissy didn't move here, we would be just as close.
Absolutely.
I've
only been here for 3 months, y'all.
Yeah. She's only been here for 3 months. And like but it takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of courage. But also I do think that for both Chrissy and I, we met at a very transformative time in our lives. We both had our other careers. We were kind of juggling 2 or 3 things. And I think what really served us well during that time was probably the same attitude we had about our friendship, which was just like, just see what happens, be open to things, and not having like a clear idea of what it has to look like, but kind of knowing what it's going to feel like or what it's going to be like. And I think that that's what's really served us well over the past couple of years of like a lot of very uncharted territory for both of us. Lots of like big, hard decisions, it's been 2 years. Yeah.
Listen, poor Shirin.
No.
Poor Shirin has been with me through the not even probably 100% the hardest times in my life. Right. Like, so she just jumped right on to the friendship when I was like, I'm burn it all down to the ground and start new. She's right. We've been through some things.
We have, and we hope this actually inspires. I'm like, everyone should reach out to a friend and express this, like tell them your favorite memory of them, because it's so wonderful and beautiful. And I don't think it's a coincidence that we both probably thought of the same things, because I'm like, that's so beautiful. We both, anyways.
So those are our favorite moments.
Those are our favorite moments of one another. I would really encourage whoever is listening to reach out to a friend, maybe just even text them and just let them know how much you love them, because friendships are really something that's like, it's even more precious than like, I don't know, like marriage is amazing and wonderful, but like some friendships are there for a long ass time.
Absolutely. And also like, I think it's so beautiful, and think for all of us as a practice to be more intentional about reaching out to like friends and expressing like our love and our appreciation for them, because also life is short, and like, I just think so often we don't show our appreciation and our gratitude enough while people are here with us. So I don't know, it's a beautiful thing to do.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So if you are inspired to kind of find new community, try new things, and even meet me and Chrissy, listen, if we hang out, we're going to get some samples, like for sure.
It's happening. I'm sorry, I have to say one more thing. Like, Shirin also is like a food expert. Like, I have never been disappointed with the food experience that I've had with Shirin, never in life. So we're also going to eat good food. Like, that's just everywhere we go. It's a top priority for us. Yeah.
So like, if I'm around, there's really good food, really good samples, really good times. If Chrissy is around, it's actually the same thing. Like,
it's
kind of the same thing. Like, really good times, lots of laughs. Chrissy is one of the funniest people I know. And I don't think like that does not come across on her Instagram, like, content, which is fine, but she is hands down one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Oh, well, thank you. But like, I don't consider myself that funny, but I appreciate that.
You're so funny. Just
Oh,
don't
thank
even.
you.
Don't
Well,
even.
I mean,
Okay.
I think we're just funny together, but
We're like, I always liken us, if anyone saw the movie Twins,
yeah.
Chrissy is Arnold and I'm
Yes,
definitely Danny DeVito. I'm
yes,
Danny
this is
DeVito.
it.
100%.
This is it. Yes.
Oh my God. Next season, we need to like recreate that photo they have with like in
Oh my
two.
God, yes. That has to happen. That's such a good idea.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Having said all that, we would love, love, love for you to join us at the Glow Up this year. So it's Memorial Day weekend and it is an incredible, it's a long weekend. So I think it's 4 days,
Yeah, 4 days.
3 days, yeah, 4 days with us and a really amazing community of women. We do workshops. Chrissy's going to be doing her body liberation work. I'll be doing mindset and mindfulness work. Allison does community work. And it's just about like doing the work and then celebrating. So there's a spa nearby where we go and just get, pampered. We're in the middle of the most beautiful national park called Zion National Park, which is literally like down the block from us.
It's so gorgeous, y'all.
It's
Like so
stunning.
gorgeous.
Stunning. It's so, so beautiful. So we really, really want you to come and join us and be part of our kooky zany community.
Absolutely. And listen, I mean, honestly, we want to meet some of our TGTS listeners in person. Like, we really, really want to connect with y'all. So it's a really beautiful event. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place to meet new people and to create community and long lasting relationships. And listen, I'm saying this honestly, last year, so many of the women who attended the event are like friends now. They've done things outside of the event. They've been to each other's homes in other states. Like, this beautiful community has been created from this event. So it's not one of those retreats where it's like, that like fake sisterhood type bullshit. We're
Mm-mm.
not doing that at all. We don't do that. It's real, real deep shit, but like real fun stuff and laughs and dancing and s'mores and just like real connection with people. And also, speaking of like meeting new people, I think events are a wonderful place to make new connections with people, because we also did this retreat with a friend of ours, Allison, who Shirin, you and Allison met at an in-person event in Boston last year. I think is the first time I knew
Yeah.
Allison, but that's the first time y'all connected in person. And here we are having this retreat together. So I just think it's such a great opportunity. And I know it can feel scary sometimes to go to like a retreat with like a bunch of women that you don't know. But this is definitely not one of those retreats where it's like cliquey or you feel left out. Everybody felt so a part of the event. It's a beautiful weekend.
I also want to say, I know I don't know how this, I mean, I get it, but like some people also get really freaked out by meeting like Chrissy or me. Like
I don't get that. I don't get it
that
either, y'all.
either.
No.
We are like literally the people you have been listening to and see online.
Like seriously.
Seriously. That's us. And we literally eat all our meals together. We go hiking together. You're going to see me and Chrissy just get into our weird conversations. And it's like,
And do weird things.
and it's really like one community. And I always describe it because I always like the idea of retreats, but I couldn't find a retreat that was for me, right? Like either they were like yoga retreats, which isn't my jam, or they were like super duper like white retreats, which is definitely not my jam. And like it was just not my jam. And I couldn't find a retreat where I was like, okay, no, I want to get away. I want to find a community. I want to do a little bit of self-work, but then I just want to enjoy myself. And I feel like we've struck this beautiful balance between all of those things. It's a really special, special event. So yes.
Really is. So we would love to have you. And because you're one of our listeners, we have a discount code for you. So you can get 10% off the retreat with the code DGAW. And our website for that is theglowupreretreat.com. So seriously, look at the information, check it out. If you have questions, seriously, get up in our DMs. Like we just got done telling stories. We answer our DMs. So get up in them, ask us questions, and we'd love to chat with you about it. But we really, really, really want to see you there.
So this is technically our last episode of this season.
So sad. So hard
sad.
to say goodbye.
But there will be a season 2. We just don't know when.
Yes, it's coming though. We promise.
It's coming. It's me and Chrissy though, so
it's
it will
unpredictable.
come. It will be in 2020. We can
yes, we can guarantee that. Yeah.
We have had such a great time. Having said that, please do leave comments, subscribe, send your favorite episodes to friends because we love this podcast so much and we love this community so much. So we would just love to get the word out there.
And thank y'all for listening. Like, listen, we decided to do this podcast and we didn't really know exactly, but I don't know. I mean, I think y'all have enjoyed, but one thing I can say is we have enjoyed it.
Yes.
I've had so much fun having these weekly conversations with you. So yeah, we'll be back sometime in 2020. And also we can't wait to chat and have more good conversations.
Yeah, we love you so much. Thank you so much for spending time with us. It like really means so much to us. Thank you.
Bye.
That's it. Bye.
That's it.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of TGTS. If you like today's episode, please subscribe, review, or leave a comment for us. And please share the TGTS love. Until next week, bye.